Sun Yi lives in the United States of America with her family. When everyone is having breakfast, she receives a call about the sale of her family house and decides to go back to her hometown in South Korea. She immediately goes to the house with her granddaughter. Granddaughter is shocked while looking around the house, because it seems creepy and looks like a haunted house. But Sun Yi's smiling because it was like that even back then. Sun Yi recalls her memory back to 47 years ago. On a stormy night, a man is entering a barn. He has wolves inside the cages. But he seems to be coming for something else inside the room. Suddenly he gets a heart attack and dies before it opens. Some time after that, Sun Yi moves from Seoul, because she needs to recover after having problems with her lungs. She is frail, it makes her isolated and has no friends. She moves with her mother and her little sister to the house, which was owned by the man that had died before. However, Ji-tae shows up. He is the landlord of the house. He is arrogant, yet he likes Sun Yi so much and wants to marry her. All the neighbors are coming to help them organize their stuff and they have dinner together. When everyone is sleeping, Sun Yi hears something from the window. She decides to go out by herself. She enters the barn where the sound comes up. She opens the door and screams when she sees the werewolf boy. Eventually, he bumps her and runs away quickly. The next day, Sun Yi and mother are drying their clothes. At the same time, Sun Yi sees something under the pile of wood. They are shocked when the werewolf boy comes out. They realize that he is a human, but such a feral boy who behaves like a beast. As a consequence, everyone is coming to inspect the boy. They believe that he is just one of thousands of children orphaned in the Korean War. It drives out mother's compassion. Besides, the county office needs time to find a place for him. Although Sun Yi rejects it, mother decides to take care of him until they find an orphanage. Mother starts bathing him and wearing him proper clothes. She even scolds and smacks him lightly every time he behaves like a beast. One day, mother leaves Sun Yi with him. Even though he realizes that she gets anxious every time he draws close, he always intends to help Sun Yi. After realizing his kindness, Sun Yi tries to train him according to a dog training manual book, as a solution to live together. The next day, mother named him Chol-soo. Sun Yi teaches Chol-soo day by day. Since that moment, Chol-soo has changed a lot. Every time he does something good, Sun Yi strokes his hair and he loves it. He starts being like a normal boy. One day, when Chol-soo and the whole family are in the market, a construction steel is falling towards them. Chol-soo pulls them close to protect them, so it hits him instead, but he survives without any injuries. When the night comes, Ji-tae's drunk and he drives crazily. He bumps into a neighbor's goat's pen, resulting in the goats running away. Chol-soo appears and holds one of the goats that got hit. However, Ji-tae flees without taking any responsibilities as he knows that Chol-soo can't say a word. Later on, Sun Yi teaches Chol-soo to write and speak. But then, Sun Yi almost blushes when she realizes that Chol-soo is looking into her eyes intensely. So, she picks up a guitar and sings a song. Right after that, Chol-soo strokes her hair as a way of praising her. At one time, the county office calls, as they have found an orphanage for Chol-soo. However, Sun Yi doesn't want to be separated from him, so she tells them a lie that no one's home. Then, Sun Yi takes him to find other clothes to wear, but she becomes silly and they are being ridiculous together. Not for long, everyone's coming and they cannot hide anymore. Afterwards, Sun Yi and Chol-soo become very close, as Chol-soo always does what she says. In the middle of the night, Ji-tae comes to Sun Yi's house with bad intentions. Chol-soo is furious and turns into a werewolf after seeing Sun Yi fall down. Ji-tae and his friends gang up on him, but their hits leave no impact on Chol-soo. With his strength, he easily overpowers them and beats them one by one. When he is about to kill Ji-tae, Sun Yi stops him with just a word, and he slowly turns back. Due to the incident, all of them are inspected by the police, but Sun Yi defends Chol-soo. Ji-tae is angry and destroys everything in front of him, including the guitar that Sun Yi and Chol-soo cherish. So, the police take them to the office. Since that time, Chol-soo is kept in the barn and Ji-tae intends to kill him. When mother's cleaning the barn, Ji-tae finds a letter with a name on it, so he decides to look for that person. It is revealed that the letter belongs to a researcher who wanted to create super soldiers that can carry out effective infiltration in a war. He suspects that Chol-soo is one of the experiments and decides to dig deeper into it. In the barn, Chol-soo shows his sketch of her and asks Sun Yi to play the guitar once more. However, the guitar has been destroyed. To entertain him, she pulls out a book from her back. Although Chol-soo can't read or speak, she believes that someday he will. When that day comes, Sun Yi wants him to promise that he will read the book for her and they will make a snowman together. Right after that, they sneak out to the hill to play together. But, Sun Yi suddenly feels hard to breathe and she falls down. Chol Su is startled, he carries her on his back searching for help, but they cannot find anyone. He panics and instinctively takes her to the forest. That night, everyone is out looking for them. Ji Tae brings the researcher and an army colonel to investigate Chol Su. When they find them, they immediately conclude that Chol Su is kidnapped and knocked Sun Yi unconscious. So, they determine that Chol Su is a dangerous experiment and needs to be killed. Therefore, Chol Su is chained up like a dog, locked, and monitored with CCTV in the barn. Afterward, Sun Yi meets him in the barn before going to the hospital. He almost loses his senses to chase her, but he waits because she asks so. At night, when everyone is sleeping, the researcher's subordinate tells him that Chol Su's condition is too good for a human. Besides, he has a bone density and muscle power that matches an elephant. The following day, Sun Yi comes to him and lets him approach her. The researcher and colonel see them and conclude that he's not dangerous. Ji Tae is furious to hear that and falsifies a testimony saying that Chol Su has attacked a neighbor's goats in the middle of the night. However, no one believes him. Right after that, the neighbor who owned the goats come to Ji Tae's house. The neighbor knows that Ji Tae wants to frame Chol Su, so he's determined to expose his lie. However, Ji Tae doesn't like the idea and hits the neighbor from behind. He plans to shift the blame to Chol Su, so he goes to Sun Yi's house right away. He turns off the electric switch and hits all of the guards down. Right after that, he comes to the barn to fool Chol Su. He says that Sun Yi's guitar is in the neighbor's home and that Chol Su has to take it home to make Sun Yi happy. Everyone is panicked and confused when Ji Tae says that all of the guards are down and Chol Su is running to the neighbor's house. Meanwhile, Chol Su has arrived and immediately breaks into the neighbor's house. He searches the place and accidentally hurts one of the neighbors. Then, Colonel arrives and misunderstands his actions. When the guard is ready to shoot him, Sun Yi asks to talk to him and Chol Su innocently shows her what he's been searching for. Ji Tae doesn't like it and takes the gun from the guard. Sun Yi tries to stop him, but she is hurt in the process. She falls down and Ji Tae kicks her several times. Chol Su can't stand the sight, so he turns into a werewolf and immediately bites Ji Tae to death. Everyone is startled and frightened. Sun Yi grieves as her actions of covering up for him have been wasted. Then, Chol Su takes Sun Yi to a cave in the forest immediately and looks after her. When the sun rises, Sun Yi hears Mother and the colonel calling out her name. She begs Chol Su to hide because she doesn't want him to be killed. However, Chol Su keeps on following her. Then, Sun Yi yells at him to drive him away. She cries as she feels that she has wronged him and they can't be together. Suddenly, the first word comes from his mouth. With tears on his cheeks, Chol Su says, "Don't go." Sun Yi bursts into tears. She throws a gravel at his face and leaves him. Then, she meets Mother and Colonel. She tells them that Chol Su has run away. Due to the public's attention, Colonel decides to stop searching and close the case. Later on, Sun Yi and her family move away, but she leaves a letter for Chol Su. Fast forward to the present, Sun Yi and granddaughter spend their night in the house. In the middle of the night, Sun Yi is wide awake and remembers Chol Su. She hears something and it leads her to the barn. She is startled when seeing that there is light inside the room. Then, she opens the door and discovers Chol Su sitting in front of her, still as young as he was 47 years ago. He hands her the letter that she has given and shows her the guitar that he has repaired. Realizing that Chol Su has been waiting all along, Sun Yi bursts into tears. She strokes his hair and hugs him tight, while apologizing for she has left him alone all this time. Sun Yi says that she's become an old woman, but Chol Su answers that she's still pretty and hasn't changed a bit. He also says that he misses her very much. As his promise, he reads the book that she gave years ago as she falls asleep. The next day, Sun Yi wakes up, but cannot find Chol Su there. She refuses to sell the house, and leaves with granddaughter. In the end, Chol Su stares from afar as the car goes away. Sun Yi forgets her promise to build a snowman together. Right after that, Chol Su seems to build a snowman by himself. Subscribe to watch more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like and comment to help the channel out. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.